Hi everyone, welcome to School of Scarlet. Happy July. So today I want to continue on talking about July energies. This is really exciting, so I want to talk about it. So if you haven't watched the video previous to this where I talk about July energies, you can go back and watch that one, or finish watching this one then watch that one. Doesn't matter which way you watch them, but it's all going to be informational for what's happening right now. And if you resonate with it, I would encourage you to check back on this channel because we will be navigating these energies together. So if you don't know, I have a school called School of Scarlet, and in that school we do meet through Zoom monthly, weekly, sometimes more, and we have courses, all kinds of supportive things. And this is where we do get together and kind of navigate these energies and talk to each other. So if you're interested in joining that, please email me at schoolofscarlet@gmail.com and I will get you on that mailing list. Okay, so to start with the July energies, we were talking about how these energies are just kind of chaotic. They're bringing kind of like this chaos into our environment. So one of the questions and one of the issues that I keep getting is around politics. Lots of people are worried about politics. They're worried about the economy. They're worried about so many different things. And as a matter of fact, this morning I received a very frantic email about the politics and how is everything going to be okay if this is the case? Well, there's always things happening in the outside world, which is politics, which is whatever you're experiencing. Doesn't matter if you live in the United States or you live in Africa or you live in Mexico or wherever you live. There is different kind of issues, different kind of scenarios happening and playing out everywhere. So what I want to focus on today is how to navigate that landscape, the outer landscape that we see. And what is happening here? Where is the shift? Now the shift has come that we used to focus on the outer reality, on, let's say, those outside things like politics. And we did used to think that if we change this, if we do that, if we fight against this, if we turn it around, then everything will be okay in our lives. We will have peace, we will have safety, we will have security. But what is happening in the July energies and what's happening in consciousness is not anything like that. It's turning around now. It's not that we're going outside and fixing all of the things outside of us. It's that we're turning inward, and from working inward, everything outside of us changes. So that's the whole shift, and it's a big shift, especially if you are somebody that's used to kind of putting out fires, finding solutions for yourself, being one of these people that thinks that you're doing it. Then you're going to have some struggles right now in releasing and allowing what is happening to just play out. Because the appearances of what you're seeing on TV or what you're reading, whatever it is that you're consuming that is keeping you in this fearful state, all of that is the outer reality. It's just showing you something that's illusory that you can either attach to and play that game and play that story, or you can see through it and know the truth of your heart, the truth of who you truly are, and you navigate past that. Now, it doesn't mean that those appearances don't actually happen in life. Yes, there's things happening, but they're not meant for you to attach to them unless that's the story that you want to play out. Otherwise, it's kind of like a screen on the computer. Like when you click, you could have a bunch of screens open, right? A bunch of screens on your computer. But some, it could say, you go to click your close tab and it'll say close all the tabs or close this one. You get to choose. Do you want to close this tab? Do you want to go ahead and close all of them and just continue on and do something different? What do you want to do? Many people just continue to stay on the same tab, and lately it's politics, right? That's what we're hearing. So they're constantly on this tab of politics and they wonder why they feel unhealthy, why they feel sick, why they're angry, or whatever's happening. It's because they've tapped into this kind of, I almost call it like a paradigm of itself that they've tapped into, but essentially it's like a computer screen. It's a page on the screen and they're stuck on this page. But at any point in time, my friend, you can go up to that little X in the corner and exit out and say, that's not true, and continue on with whatever you want to do. What do you want to do today? You want to go fishing? What do you want to do? You want to go to the movies and watch a movie? What do you want to do? Dance with your wife? Whatever it is that you want to do, you have the ability to choose that, close that box out, and go ahead on with the thing that it is that you want to do. So that is everything that's happening here. We're shifting from trying to change and be the outside world to now reflecting inwardly and really finding out the truth of our heart. What do we truly need and want for ourselves? And going that path without any fear. Without any fear that we are doing anything wrong. We are going on our path, following our heart like innocent children. And in that, it awakens and opens more and more paths that are more aligned to who you are. So you didn't have to go out there and changing the outside reality. All you had to do was reflect inwardly and see the truth, and then everything would reflect on the outside. Now, it's not like it takes just a second and all of a sudden everything changes. So this is a process, of really switching the way that you have been. Anytime that we have gone through anything, let's say like a car accident or something like that, there is a time period for us to switch from like, okay, we've been, injured. Now there's the healing process. It takes some time before we're healthy again. So we've been living, let's say, kind of like unhealthy or unaligned to the truth of who we are. And it doesn't just happen overnight that you're just going to change that and drop all the beliefs. Unless you've had a very radical awakening, which isn't very common for most people. So what you'll see is a gradual kind of unraveling, a gradual kind of letting go and allowing of what is. And so this happens gradually, and it happens with just allowing the environment to be, allowing those things to be. If you hear something about politics, if you watch something, you don't allow that to just take you out of your reality and suddenly now you're frantically trying to get an appointment or something to get some help because you think that the world is collapsing. It's not collapsing. There's nothing happening here that you don't have a control of, that you don't have some kind of, you're safe. You're essentially safe. Let's just put it that way. Everything that is happening, you're actually allowing in some sense or another. And when you resist, believe it or not, you're really, really allowing that. You're really allowing it to stick around because you're not allowing it to pass and flow like it's supposed to naturally pass and flow and leave. You're the one that's clung on to that screen, clung on to that thing, and you're not letting it go because you think that one thing means everything. But there is nothing in this reality that means everything. I have people that, suddenly maybe their spouse is asking for a divorce, or maybe someone has left or died, or, they just are not in their reality anymore. And it seems to be that this person's reality begins to crumble, the one that stays behind. And when we have to realize that there's no one outside of our reality or thing that has any say on our experience. It's when we attach to them and we give them all of our life force, all of our power, that we feel this way. So Buddha talked about this, that, attachment is suffering. And so it's not that we want to be unattached to things. We just want to be in flow. We have to be in flow with life and understand that life is not about attaching to something and never letting it go. It's not about attaching to something and saying that's how it has to be and that's the only way it can be, or, this is my child or this is my thing and I'm never going to let it go. No, it's about letting it go, letting it flourish, letting it grow into life so that it continues to evolve and expand into more and more. It's not natural for us to cling to things and keep them down and limit them. And, many people do these things to their children, to their lifestyles. They even they do all of these things to try to keep things comfortable, try to keep things the same. But that's not life. That's not the way things work. If we've look at evolution, look at humanity. Are humans doing the same things that they were doing 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago? No, it is vastly different. Do they have the same beliefs that they had 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago? No, absolutely not. The basic thing that does remain is the heart. Have you noticed that? But that is a recurring theme that you can bank on. But everything else changes, my friends. Everything else. There is nothing else that you can tell me that is going to stay exactly the same. There is only one thing that stays the same, and that is the truth. And that is prior to creation, prior to the illusion. So there is nothing in the illusion that can point to you and change something for you, make your life better, do anything. Only you can do that. So I hope that this message was helpful. I hope that you resonated with it. And if you did, please share it with others, like, click all those buttons, whatever we have to do, get it out there. I invite you to email me at schoolofscarlet@gmail.com if you want to get together to get into School of Scarlet and navigate all of this together. So thank you so much for watching. I love you all.